and welcome back to another video with Miss McWilliams on art. Today we have a special guest, Mr. McWilliams.
I'm regional art guy.
Okay, so what are we going to do today, Mr. McWilliams?
Well, it looks like we are going to be doing some printing.
Yes, we are going to print with ordinary fruits and vegetables such as carrots and bananas, peppers, oranges, iceberg lettuce,
The best type of lettuce.
apples, and lemons. If you have any of those, gather them, and also you might need a cutting board. Mr. McWilliams made this cutting board, and it's a puzzle piece.
Yeah, there's another one that fits into it. Yeah.
Okay, so
By the way, when cutting fruit and or vegetables, you might want to have your parents help you out. Make sure that you use a knife safely, because some of these things are hard to cut, like carrots sometimes are difficult.
Okay, so before we start cutting vegetables, we're going to get our ink ready. You can use any kind of paint. You can use a little sponge to put it on, or, and I have this one in a little plastic container. It's hard to see. Or you can just roll out some paint onto a tray. So what's over there? What's that?
This looks like a stencil. And so you can see if I can rotate this, I can figure out how to do it. Oh, I gotta hold that part. Rotate
oh yeah,
this.
I got that at the dollar store.
You can see there's a feather here. On this one, there's 3 feathers, and I keep rotating it. There's different things. Now, this part blocks that off. So if you wanted to print one of these, you pick one, and then these are like arrows or Cupid arrows, maybe, or this feather it says hope.
Can you show us how to print one of those stencils?
You can give me a piece of paper.
What color paper? would
White's
you like?
fine.
Okay.
You got the black ink out?
I have these little cards.
Okay.
And yes, black ink.
So I'm going to do this one right here, place it down and on the desired area, okay? And I should do it this way, shouldn't I?
Yep.
Yeah, I had it backwards. It would have been backwards. Then I'm going to take a sponge. Now, we have these really nice sponges here that have handles. That's not necessary. If you have a kitchen sponge or even a paper towel, it's fine.
Or a paintbrush.
Or a paintbrush or something. But the key is, what's kind of crazy is you don't want to load it up with a lot. You want to dab this when you're doing a stencil like this. So you slowly put down the material, and you'll look at it and go, gosh, I need more. That's not enough. I'm just sure it's not enough. But believe it or not, it is. Now you can look at this, and I'll hold it up, try to keep it in the exact same place, and it moved, of course. But at any rate, there is a stencil right there. Okay.
Yay, that looks nice.
And it's on a card, and so I could actually take this piece of paper, bend it, fold it. And wouldn't it be nice that you did some artwork and you could hand it out to a neighbor, put it in their mailbox or something? Because right now with all this distancing, social distancing, things like this, it would be really awesome if you had a neighbor who's maybe by themselves or something like this to send them a nice little letter or something, or even just an artwork with your name on it would be fine.
Okay, so now we're going to print with vegetables.
Woo!
So which one do you want to start with first?
Well, I think I want to start with, for me, I'm going to do the orange because that sounds pretty interesting.
I'm going to do this pepper because it's got these nice shapes.
Can I use a knife there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'm going to do part of the orange too, like this as well. And see, I think that part right there, we'll see how this works out. It's got a lot of water on it, or juice, I guess.
Now another thing you can do is with an apple, you can actually cut shapes out of it. So I'm going to do little triangles and see if I can come up with some sort of a design.
So again, I'm taking my sponge here and I'm dabbing this. I'm going to load this up, and then I'm going to do one of these peppers. I'm going to load it up.
Oh, let me get you a
We're going to get
piece of
some paper and we'll print out a bunch of it at the same time. Again, you can see where the ink is going and not going. You can probably even take the pepper or something and press it in there if you don't have it. 2 sponges or something. Okay, and then I'm going to take both these, the orange and the pepper, and again on this piece of paper here, so I'm going to move this so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to press the pepper down pull it up. That's pretty cool. You know what? Let's see if we can get 2 prints from that pepper. Awesome. Now I'm going to take that, place it over here. It's orange time. And boom, push the orange down. Pick it up. Try not to smear it or turn it because it smears that way. And now I have this print right here, which is 2 peppers and an orange. And it almost looks like a face. I could probably take a pencil or a marker or something and have these be the 2 eyes and the mouth and draw a face around it if you wanted to. Then you could add different details to it if you'd like to. Now we have here, we have an apple. So let's go ahead and print the apple. Here's the apple.
Here's
cut
another.
out. You want me to do another one? Okay.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to take my brush here, load it up with ink or paint, whatever you have. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. See, again, I've loaded up that part there, and I'm going to do multiple prints again because, hey, why not? 1,
Iceberg lettuce has this really cool
2.
design that's kind of wavy. It's kind of fun to print with as well.
And I'm printing this multiple times, so it's kind of like almost like an abstract thing going on there because it's 3 different parts, which is pretty fun. All right, let's try the lettuce. I'm kind of actually excited about this. You know, you may not have noticed that, but look how groovy that looks. Groovy. How that looks. And so, maybe you haven't noticed how lettuce looks. I always like to have salad, but I like some iceberg in there because the iceberg has the crunch that I like.
Okay, now for the last thing that we're going to print today, I found a piece of styrofoam. You can use an old meat tray and draw a design into it. So chicken and any other meat, ground beef, you just have to wash it off with soap and you can make a cool design. I did some triangles and lines and circles, and you have to draw into it really, really hard with the, try it again. I want to see more of that.
I'm going to do, yeah, I wanted to
cool.
show them before I did multiples of these. I'm going to reload up this lettuce here. This is kind of,
Okay, I'm gonna,
because I think if I print this like 3 or 4 times,
and I'm going to do the same thing with this.
look how groovy that is. Groovy, man, groovy.
Is I'm going to swipe the ink across like this, and hopefully it will start to not go in the crevices, but kind of go across it. Make sure you're using washable paint or use gloves, and if you don't have any paint for this, you could probably use a marker. That's another way of doing this. Okay.
Print that bad boy.
So I've got it all inked up, and you can see it's not really in the corners.
Now, one quick tip that I want to talk about that you probably remember, but it's a good thing to refresh your memory on, is that when you're going to print this, it comes out backwards. So, if you do words and you spell them forwards on here, when you print it, the words will be backwards.
So you mean like hope?
Well, that one was forwards because I did the correct side of that
Because it was a stencil.
stencil. But if you're using foam, like you know the foam that your mom gets or dad gets the chicken on or the hamburgers, it's like a foam tray. You can take that, wash it out, and you can print on that.
I literally just said that.
Let's sing the song. It's Tuesday. We're gonna make art.
It's Wednesday.
We're gonna be on time for work on Thursday.
Well, it didn't quite come out how I hoped, but I can try it again. I need to probably put a little bit more pressure on it. You can still see the design, and it's fun to try new things.
And if you have somebody like your little brother, you want to go, no, don't do that. This stuff like gets all over everywhere. I'm being silly. But this is the print too. This also could be the artwork as well. You can see you can reprint it up. You can do it several times, or this could be the artwork. Anyway, we want you guys to have some fun things to do. We all know that we're in the house, and kind of staring at one another, and this will hopefully give you some artwork that you can make at your house.
Bye.